Well, hello, my lovely Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of the 13th of June 2022. I do hope this reading finds you well. And let's just get straight into your reading. I'm going to draw a card, first of all, from the Chakra Insight Oracle. And this might just give us an overall theme for the week. After that, we are going to do the layout, if you were around last week, that I did last week, called Outside of the Box. And I will be using that same deck, the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. Okay, thank you guys. Libra. Oh, Libra, you got two. All right, then you can be a little bit greedy. That's fine. The first card out we have is Pleasure. Of course, my lovely Libra. You love your pleasure. The words on here say enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. Libra, very nice. And then we have will. So we have expression, assertiveness, self-control, and direction. All right, let's see how that unfolds with the rest of the week for us. Now, I have called in my guardians, guides, angels and ancestors who love me unconditionally and are of the highest vibration. Just bear with me. Okay, I'm getting told to not take those. So as I said, I have called in my guardians, guides, angels and ancestors who love me unconditionally and are of the highest vibration. I do invite you to do the same if you are so drawn. It might just help you to tap in with the energy a little bit more. So the first card out we have is the Knight of Swords. That's in the position of the week as a whole energy. So we will get into it a little bit more, but immediately I can see that Knight of Swords linking into that will card, you know, so it's that charging forward, it's that assertiveness and direction. Okay, let me just... So the next card out we have is the Five of Cups. This is in the position of something unexpected or a surprise. The next card after that is the Three of Cups. That is in the position of how we can stay grounded or focused this week. Interesting location for that card. The next card out is the Ten of Swords. This is in the position of your emotions. Okay, lots of swords there. This is the next card out. And the Ten of Wands. Libra, it could be some difficult energy for you in the cards so far. So let's see if we can get some cards to see how we can best move through some of these heavier energies. So the next card out we're looking for is how we can best support ourselves. And looking at some of those cards, you might need a little bit of support. So let's see what we've got. The Hanged Man. I couldn't have chosen that much better, I don't think. So the Hanged Man comes out and how we can help to support ourselves, best support ourselves. The next card out is the card for our emotions this week. Okay. So we have the Seven of Pentacles there. And I'm getting told to take both of those cards for that position. So the relationship card is the Hierophant, also with that Seven of Pentacles. And then our final card on the outside of the box is for our career. What have we got from my beautiful Libra friends? Final card for the outside of the box. Thank you, guides. Oy, that is far too many. Okay, we do have the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, so let's just see if that is relevant to whatever does come out. I am going to take both of those cards. So we ended up having the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers in your career. Interesting. And we are just seeking one more card. You've got so many extra cards this week, Libra. Don't tell the other signs, hey. They might get envious. So our final card, a message from the universe. Thank you, guides. The Fool. Okay. Brand new journey for my beautiful Libra friends. Bold leap of faith. Okay, so let's start with our overall energy for the week. It's that Knight of Swords. So I did touch on this earlier. It's that charging forward, okay? You're really motivated to, come on, let's go. Let's get amongst it. I've got a job to do. I've got to save the world. And look, the message often with this card is when we rush things, we can sometimes make mistakes. So given some of the challenging energies that may be in the cards this week, I would suggest where you can slow down and really just. I want to bring this hangman in like already, because this is really the key to how, you know, it's in the position how you can best support yourself, and this is going to be the key for you all week. So whatever is coming up in all of these cards, the answer is going to be turning your perspective upside down and taking a brand new look on things, taking a fresh perspective on things. So, and thinking uniquely, thinking differently. We've also got the Hierophant here, and this Hierophant in particular is a very individual thinker. You know, they're someone who's tapped into something else that's a little bit special. So if this is you, you're wanting to charge forward, just slow the pace down a little bit and see if you can see things from a different perspective. Because obviously that Knight of Swords there, it's tying in with this energy that we drew first of all, the will. You are like, you're chomping at the bit. You're chomping the bit to get there and go. And even with this Fool card, it's like, come on, I'm going to go. I'm going to jump. I'm jumping. But this dog's jumping off the cliff, and like, has it thought about how it's going to land? You know, it doesn't even have a bag of goodies with it. So are you being too rash here? And look, if you slow down a little bit, curb that willpower a little bit, stop and enjoy some of the pleasures along the way. The next card out we have, and I'm going to come back to that because there's quite a bit of story here. But the next card out we have in the first instance is the Five of Cups. And this is in the position of something unexpected or a surprise. So something may come along this week that may leave you with a sense of disappointment, grief, loss, sorrow, kind of a feeling of missing out on something. And you know, you're generally a very positive person, Libra. So this may come as a bit of a surprise to you that this mood kind of catches you unawares. Again, I think it's going to tie in once we move through the rest of the story. So the next card out is how we can best stay grounded and focused. And here we have the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords sometimes, you know, is really the heartbreak card. It's the, and often it could be the end of a relationship, or, you know, it's almost that kind of heartbreak. It's really quite deep. So in terms of staying grounded and focused, if you've had this grief or loss, this disappointment, I mean, these two cards sort of have quite a similar energy. The swords through the heart, that's, you know, it sounds fairly gruesome, but I'm thinking of the pottery, the Japanese pottery, where they use broken pottery and they mend it with gold, and once it's mended, it's a lot more valuable and a lot more beautiful than the original piece. And that's the sense I'm getting, is that you know, once the swords are removed, once the pain has passed, then when the heart is mended, it's a lot stronger, it's a lot more valuable, it's a lot more beautiful, because we've been through the hard stuff, and it helps us to surrender and open up to, hopefully it helps us to surrender and open up to like a kind of like a level of compassion for ourselves and for other people that maybe we wouldn't have had we not had the heartbreak. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but that's the sense that I'm getting with this card. So in terms of the position in the reading, the staying focused, staying grounded is, I would invite you, if you're feeling this loss and grief and disappointment, is to stay focused on the fact that it is only temporary. It will pass. So we've got the 10 of Swords beneath it. So this is an ending, the 10 of Wands underneath that. So very strong. This yuck stuff is ending and there's going to be new beginnings. The Fool and, you know, even the Lover's card. So it is temporary. It's on the way out and it will help to make you stronger, better, more experienced, and help you to make that new start, that fresh start. So as I did touch on there, the 10 of Swords is the next card out. It is in the position of your emotions. So this has been, there may be a difficult pathway you've had to get to this point, and you might feel completely defeated and completely spent, and you know, you feel like you've been stabbed in the back, literally 10 times. And I'm going to talk about the 10 of Wands here as well, because it's a similar sort of energy. You know, you've had this uphill battle, you've carried this heavy bundle, this heavy burden, such a long way. But both of these cards are endings. So 10s are endings, aces are beginnings. We haven't got any aces in the reading, but we know that after the 10 it starts off with the ace again. So after this ending, we know we're going to have that fresh beginning. And we've got that with the Fool card as well. So again, I did touch on this Hanged Man energy before. And this is in the position of how we can best support ourselves. So I'm not sure if you got the Hanged Man last week at all. It did come up a couple of times. So I think in general, a lot of us are looking at how we can change our perspective on life and what we've got. And the consistent message that's coming through, and I want it to come through again for you, is this idea of non-attachment. And the reason I say that is that this bat is barely attached to that log above him. He's almost like floating there. And so there's this sense of detachment, I should say. And once we can detach from, you know, things in our life that maybe we've held value on before, and maybe we're reassessing those things, like, am I that attached to my possessions? Am I that attached to my job? Am I that attached to my house? And if we can let go of that attachment, it opens up the universe to provide us new beginnings, like this Fool card here, like all the aces that we are consistently seeing in so many of the readings. The other thing with this Hanged Man is that this is the bat, and the bat finds his way by way of sonar direction. So this is where this idea of intuition is coming through. So it's about intuitively knowing your pathway out, or knowing which way to go. And, you know, you may well find that you're able to navigate your way off this crazy big jump off the cliff and navigate your way to a soft landing, you know. So again, I do hope that makes sense. And I do want to tap in again to that idea of this guy, this bat, this Hanged Man is such an individual, unique creature. And sometimes we forget how individual and unique we are. So I think if you can recognize and acknowledge that those particular skills and qualities that you have, that can help you to navigate through and support yourself really well this week and into the future after that. The next two cards out in the position of your relationships is the Seven of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So in terms of relationships, it might be that there's a bit of a potentially a culling process going on here with the Seven of Pentacles. So you might be in a position where you sometimes think that you're the one that's putting in all the work into a relationship, and maybe others aren't meeting you in that space. Maybe it's time to actually figure out which of those crops you want to harvest, which of them you want to discard. And that's the idea of the Seven of Pentacles. It's one of my favourite readers, Minnow Pond, he calls the Seven of Pentacles is the juice worth the squeeze. So in terms of your relationship, that's kind of a nice way of looking at it. So are you getting enough out of it to warrant the investment that you're putting into it? Now this Hierophant card here as well tells me to ask you to consider how you might want to rethink what it is you value in a friendship. And I get the sense that, because sometimes the Hierophant is really about, sometimes it's about putting people on pedestals, you know. It's often associated with like old systems, say old systems of religion, that sort of thing. And so the sense I'm getting here again is that in your relationships, are you putting someone on a pedestal that maybe doesn't deserve to be there? Are you, in fact, ignoring your own creativity and individuality, and you're not being recognized for that? You're not being recognized for your skills and your qualities. So that's the sense I'm getting with those two cards in that position there of your relationships. The final two cards on the outside of the box in the position of your career is the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers card. So the Queen of Pentacles is obviously a beautiful card to have in terms of the career. So in terms of career, you know, it's really a graceful, strong, grounded position to really see yourself in. So we can see the Queen of Pentacles, she is very secure. She's in terms of material wealth and resources and you know, the things that she has around her, that connectedness to nature, she's got all of those things, and she's graceful and strong and patient and, you know, loyal, all of those you know, beautiful sort of high-end pentacle energies. The interesting card here we have is the Lovers. So in terms of career, the sense that I'm getting is you may be working in a partnership with a soulmate, most likely a romantic soulmate. It could be a soulmate in terms of a business partner, but it's someone who really gets you. It's somebody who you almost finish each other's sentences, and you really have that deep connection and understanding of each other. So I feel like this is what's going on for you at the moment in terms of your career, but it could also indicate that in terms of your job, your career, you know, whatever it is that you do in your life, is that this type of relationship could be being offered to you. As I said, I feel like it's an existing situation for you, but it is a potential of a new situation as well. And that final card on the outside of the box, how we can think outside of the box. Can we just start again? Can we take a brand new leap, take the plunge, and go for gold? We have talked about this card already in the reading, and I think probably most of us do understand that full energy fairly well. So in all, Libra, I'm not sure. It's quite an up and down energy, up and down week for you. You know, these heavier energies, I just want to remind you to not focus on them, okay? They are temporary. Look at things from a new perspective and grow, move forward, take the plunge, and, just stop and enjoy things for a little bit. All right, my beautiful friends, we will see you next week. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're drawn to, and have a great week. Thanks, guys.